What's up, guys? How we doing? It is Dallas week, so we got to be feeling pretty good, right? We got game coming up Friday. Hopefully your weekend started. Appreciate all you guys hanging out in the chat. Shout out to everyone, as many as possible. Let me know where you're listening from, as always, to give you a shout out, or as many as I can. Shane, what's up? Fly Eagles Fly, Patrick, Jerry, Eagle One, Cranky Cletus, Abram. We got Eric. Oh, yeah, Kev. Tracy Ann, Clayton Bowder. Hopefully I said that correctly. Maybe not the last name. Jason, Nina, Trenton. Let's see. Josh B, Devontae, Tyler Wallace, DKT, Fanny, Jay Battles, Chris. What's up, everybody? How we doing? This is an exciting stream. I am very excited. I'm seeing some of the comments as well. Clayton from Syracuse. There you go. Kev, I appreciate that. I don't know that I agree with you, but I do appreciate it. Steve saying Tom Grossi is also doing Q&A. Interesting. Well, that's probably more of closer to the GOAT. But Kev, I'll take the compliment. So appreciate you guys. Like I say, a blast for the stream here because obviously, and I've got it right here because we don't forget about it. But the Saquon Barkley signed helmet, Kelly Green, is going to be given away during the stream to one random lucky subscriber. So you guys are unbelievable. It's crazy that the channel has reached over 80,000 subscribers, but obviously, I said, okay, we'd be giving it away. So we have it teed up and ready to go later in the stream. I'll probably do that, I don't know, in 30, 40 minutes, something like that. But we shall see. But good luck to all. So Supreme Rich says, I need that helmet. A lot of people have said that. A lot of people have claimed it already, in fact. But may the odds ever be in your favor. So a lot to get into. Obviously, like I say, Dallas week, the Cowboys coming up. They have some injuries. The Eagles don't really have hardly any. Sirianni made a comment that was interesting, kind of bizarre, a little strange in the press conference about Jalen Hurts' ankle. More humorous to me, I think, than anything, but, we'll at least bring that up, and I'll play the clip. If you've not seen it, I will play the clip for you, so we'll have better reference as well. Super chat here from Devontae. Appreciate the 5-bomb, man. Says, we get to an NFC championship. Josh keeps the stash and get a low buzz cut. Wow. I think the stash has already been a little bit of a stretch. I've gotten several comments from people saying to go ahead and cut it. Waffles, appreciate you, man. Says, please need to brag to my friends. LOL, love vids, shout me out. Well, there you go, Waffles. You've been shouted out. I do appreciate the support. Thank you for that. But yes, I've gotten several comments on the stash. The stash is not being shaved until the Eagles lose. Like it's the power stash, as everyone has been saying. So, we all do our part. We all have our cross to bear, so to speak. And it's the fandom. It's been the mustache. So, it's staying put. As far as the low buzz cut, though, I would do it. I would do it for the birds if we really feel like that's gonna help us get over the. We'll cross that bridge whenever we come to it, though, because that's an extra one. I mean, the stash was a little bit to get my wife convinced on. The buzz cut, that's Sirianni's job. He just needs to stick to that. Ariel Miranda, what's up? How's it going? By the way, I do need to obviously quickly shout out because I mentioned the Saquon Barkley helmet, and this thing does not happen without the official sponsor of the channel, Underdog. Can scan the QR code, obviously use the code Philly Special, get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. If you have not checked out Underdog yet, you are kind of missing out. If it's available to you, I know it's not for some for the pick'em, but if it is available to you, you're missing out because Underdog has crazy, ridiculous promos. Even though Boosttober is over, what was last month in October, still crazy promos. A lot of tokens. It makes things. Automatic picks, everything else. You can do it in tons of different sports. Basically, all options available to you. Ultimately, even if you can't do the pick'em options, you could still do weekly leagues as far as Pennsylvania or Philly-based individuals are. But if you can do the pick'em, then there's an extra promo available, which is the CJ Stroud free pick. So anybody right now, use the code Philly Special or scan the QR code. You can get a CJ Stroud automatic win, and then you just pair that up with one other one for the weekend. Come hang out with us during the live stream. Live streams have been crazy wild. They've been getting better, obviously, because we've been winning, but it's fun. It's a blast. You guys, probably just about everybody here, because I'm recognizing most all the names, but, y'all are on the streams. You know what it's like. But again, shout out to Underdog. Use code Philly Special. On that note, I will at least throw this up here because I've had a couple people asking, like, hey, what are your plays? What are your locks or guarantees? So I don't know necessarily that I would go with a lock or guarantee yet. I'll probably have that on tomorrow's video of the official lock or plays. However, there's a home run pick of sorts, and there you go. Anytime you got a chance for a 92, 93 times multiplier on a parlay, it's not the worst thing. I do understand and realize that Will Shipley, it's going to take a decent amount, but just him alone is like 19 or 20 times the amount of a payout for a Will Shipley touchdown. And I'm just going under the impression, the thought that, look, Dallas is the worst in the league at stopping the run by just about all major aspects, certainly when it comes to the red zone, everything else there. So, if it turns into a blowout, we've seen Will Shipley score a touchdown that was called back. You know that Nick Sirianni and the guys want to get him one. So I'm just hoping, thinking the other one's there. Saquon should be able to get over 87.5 yards. Brandon Aubrey is the only offensive weapon that the Cowboys have that's consistent. You do have to pick, one opposing player from a different team. So take the Cowboys kicker. And then if Will Shipley were to score a touchdown, heck, that's a $11 bet, wins you over $1,000. So feel free to tell if you want to. Again, there's the code. Philly Special. Get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Anyway, appreciate Underdog for that. Feel free to let me know your plays as well. Jesse, though, asking, you guys tailgating at the Washington game? We are. We will be, haven't 100% confirmed the location, but we will be around the tailgate, and we might be moving around to a couple others, but I'll be sharing that. Thomas will as well whenever we have 100% lockdown details. But we will be at that game. And we will see. I'm getting comments for the neon light as well. Yes, if you're interested, there is a link in the description, but it's crazy expensive. So eventually, we are going to give that away as well. But as far as this week, obviously, again, Dallas week, it's a little bit different than, times of the past because injuries being plagued for both teams. But how is everybody feeling? Curious to get the thoughts there. Are we confident going into this game? And we should be, right? And we can look at the injury report officially if you've not seen it yet. Injury report, Eagles listed out. There's a ton of guys on there, but the good news is they're all full participants. So as of today, you've got basically every single person back. The only questionable in terms of eligible to return, yes, there's Jordan Mailata still on the IR, but guys that eligible to return is Ben Van Sumeren. Questionable with a concussion. See if he's able to return. It impacts special teams, your fullback situation too. Ben Van Sumeren, the hybrid linebacker, fullback, special teams ace. He does it all. So it'd still be a blow if you don't have BVS out there. But ultimately, you got all those guys that are going to be playing and participating. There's hardly any teams in the league at this point that have that type of health. Fitness saying Josh is giving everything away. Next will be his house. Yeah. I guess at this rate, who knows? Again, most of it is very, very thankful, very blessed from the sponsorship. So kudos and shout out to Underdog for that. But if they're like, hey, we're gonna sponsor something, not necessarily to the extent of the house, but if they want to keep doing these bigger giveaways, I've teased, if they want to partner. Certainly when we get to playoff time, some playoff tickets maybe, Super Bowl tickets might be a little much, but, if we do kind of who knows, if we get up to 100,000 subs on the channel, might do a extra, some sort of extra giveaway. We'll see. As far as Dallas, they do not have the good-looking graphic for their injury report, so I've just picked Tom Pelissero's tweet. I guess that works. But CeeDee Lamb, shoulder, off the injury report, good to go Sunday versus the Eagles. So that one is fine for them. They're not going to have Dak Prescott, who was put on the IR, or I guess is. But Micah Parsons with the ankle is questionable, and Trayvon Diggs is also questionable with the calf. Zach Martin did not practice at all this week, but he will be a full go on Sunday. So for their offensive line, that's what you're looking at in terms of the main injuries, difference makers, impact for the game. Like I say, it's this thing is shaping up already, or already was shaping up well for Philly. Injury report as well. I mean, you got basically just about every person that you could want there. And the fact that it's a short week with the Commanders after this one, the hope is, you know what? You show up, you take care of business. Maybe we can get a quarter and a half of just kind of relaxing. That would be awesome. If on Sunday we're just chilling. Craigie Cletus says Dallas doesn't scare me. We're good. We're feeling good. Yeah. Jorge says we need some touchdowns for Saquon. I want him as a front runner for Offensive Player of the Year. He's close. He's close. Sure. Get a little bit. Let's see. Jay, though, is believing that it's a trap game. Interesting. That might be one of the first times I've seen. Oh, there's Trenton as well. Okay, there's a couple. There you go. Eagle One played this weekend on Underdog. Lost. Okay, but it was fun. There you go. If anyone's coming to the Dallas game, by the way, it's available in Texas. So if you're not able to do it beforehand, you could certainly do it while you're in Dallas. Yes, Hurts is fine. For questions asking, is Jalen Hurts injury a big deal? I'll get to. It was more so about what Sirianni said. Yeah. So what about what Nick Sirianni? So. And I could put the tweet up here as well. It's a very minor ankle injury. So it's not nothing. It's not like there's no injury, but it's a very minor ankle injury. Tim McManus, ESPN, does good work. Says it right there. Eagles quarterback been dealing with a mild ankle issue for a couple weeks, a league source said, and then went into more details, which is basically a lot to say that he's been dealing with a minor issue. Nothing crazy. But it's in reference to what Sirianni said during the press conference. Let's see. DKT, is Thomas giving his ticket away for the Commanders game? Well, we already gave I think we already gave that one away to Billy Rigby. At least he's got another one. I don't know. If he does, I'm not aware of that, but I believe that we already did the joint giveaway. But yes, this came after Nick Sirianni's comment, and so I'll just go ahead and play this in case someone did not see the press conference, because, since we're talking about injuries anyway, to me, it's not as big of a deal. It's a really bizarre, I don't know, interaction, way to answer it. So we could go back and forth, get comments, thoughts, everything there. I believe I figured out how to make this play with audio, so we'll test it out together, but let's see if we can get this thing to work, as we, of course, have to wait on an ad. Here we go.
The role. When a role changes during the season, especially when it decreases, how do you handle that?
Yeah, again, you talk to everybody. When guys' roles change positively or playing a little bit less or have less, you just communicate everything.
We haven't really seen Jalen be held back for load management before. What was behind that on Wednesday?
Yeah, he's dealing with it was on the injury report, dealing with the ankle, and just making sure we're precautious with everything.
What's wrong with the ankle? He wasn't on the
ankle. I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts. It was an ankle?
What's that?
It was the rest.
That was the rest, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
I thought you were talking about something else. All right.
Is Jalen dealing with an ankle problem?
No, rest.
Okay, there you go. I'll probably next time try to figure out how to get my actual, I don't know, me there as well, so you don't look like you're just watching the Eagles press conference. But a little strange. I don't know. It's interesting, to say the least. A little bizarre. But we've all had, brain freeze moments, I suppose. And if Sirianni was having conversations with Jalen and they're like, yeah, he's a little banged up. Who isn't banged up this time of year? We see all the full participants for the Eagles, but let's be honest, they're full participants. They're going to play. But I guarantee you, if you asked every single one of those players, are they 100%? No. It's later on in the season. No one's that way. Certainly in the NFL. But did he slip up? Did he accidentally say it? Because, yes, he knows that Jalen's got a little bit of a mild ankle injury. Possibly they gave him a day off on Wednesday for the first time ever. Jalen's, not necessarily. I don't think he's actually ever taken a rest day. I think that was his first one in his career. So I don't know. I saw some people being like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Like, it ultimately, what it's going to probably come down to is the Eagles will probably get a fine. I mean, the NFL, maybe not. The NFL will probably investigate it because it's interesting, to say the least. They might slap him with a fine just to say, okay, because all injuries, if they're injuries, get disclosed. It's maybe a technicality because you could argue and say, no, he was resting. Like, he's got a little bit of something, but it's not to the extent that he couldn't have practiced, so we just gave him rest, and they designated it that way. Are they trying to keep it from a team like Dallas, who, if they knew that he had a bum ankle or an injured ankle, they try to cook up something or scheme that way? I don't know. But, yeah, as Cobb was saying, was limited on Wednesday, not DNP. Let's see, they didn't have him participate, or they didn't have him in throwing drills. But you might be right there. I might have said DNP, and it was limited. Nonetheless, he didn't go. He wasn't a full go for a rest reason, I should say. So let's see. I'm gonna just there we go. Yeah, limited. But he's never had, like I say, he's never had that limited designation for rest in his career. He's had limited, for sure, other injuries, but that's the first time, as I think Zach Berman was the first one to point that out. So, again, at the end of the day, does it really matter? Does it really shake things up? No, not necessarily, but it's just a Nick Sirianni stumble, say something that maybe perhaps he should not have. And yeah, there's people that are like, okay, as the head coach of the organization, should he be on top of that a little bit more? Probably. It was a little bit of an embarrassing look when you got the PR person to the side that has to jump in there and go, rest. No, it was rest. We didn't actually, we didn't put him on there for ankle. He was limited due to rest. Anyway. Brandon says, yeah, I don't care. Let the players clear that up. Gunner, what's up? How's it going? Let's see. I was going through other questions and comments as well. How are we feeling about the Dallas game? Koopa saying non-story next. That's fair. Stacy's, am I the only person that doesn't care about the slip-up? Feel like people are overreacting? Yeah, probably a bit. You're not the only person, but yeah, they're probably a little bit. Popcorn asking, am I going to the game Sunday? I'm not actually. No, the plan initially was, but then due to travel, and I believe Thomas is actually, I want to say he's headed out to Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. There's some, I believe it's Vegas. I could be wrong. But anyway, schedule and everything else not going to work out. So we will be at the Commanders one. So, as always. We'll be streaming, and it'll be an absolute blast. Come check it out. Usually give stuff away just about every single time. Looky there, Philly 500. Appreciate the 5, man. Heck yes, it's a great stream. Hope you're doing well. Hurts will be fine. It's time for a funeral in Dallas. God bless. Appreciate that. Yes, God bless, man. Obviously, y'all probably already are, because what he's like, you're like 130. Over 130, I think, on subs. So, but if you're not, make sure to sub. Philly's got the streams for all the NFC games. Checking out the Meltdown broadcast. Hopefully it's an absolute meltdown in Dallas. Yes, the funeral, the meltdown in Dallas. The fact that they said that they're all in, didn't make a move basically till the trade deadline when they were clearly all out this season. But yet, hey, you know what? Let's get Jonathan Mingo. Let's try to make this thing work. You're not going to have your quarterback for multiple weeks on the IR. Just take advantage of it. And we want everyone healthy, yes, but let's not let up to a certain extent, even if we got some backup guys going in there. But appreciate that. That means a lot, Philly. Let's see. Fruity Loops. I shared the picks a second ago. I'll also put it on the video tomorrow. But if you want to rewind, I'm not going to go and rehash the picks. But I've listed out several of those. I'll share it on the other ones too. Let's see. Hunter with do you think the Steelers can beat the Commies? I do, actually. Yeah. They're going to be with without Brian. Actually, were they? Hang on. Why am I drawing blank here? They didn't have him last week, right? But they got him. I think he's out again this week. Is Brian Robinson? Yeah, officially ruled out for Week 10. Be interesting. They won't have Marshawn Lattimore. He's out, of course. So if people were not aware of that, new corner, not going to be there. Maybe on Thursday, try to keep him healthy. Hamstring issue. Lots of hamstrings for a couple different, obviously with Dak and Marshawn Lattimore. But if he's able to go, then, next thing you know, be playing Thursday against AJ and Smitty. It's a short week, though, so maybe he doesn't even play in the Commanders game. But, I mean, let's just say, look, if we take care of business, regardless, even if the Commanders beat the Steelers, I think the Steelers have a legit chance. But if not, even if both of us, if we take care of business against Dallas, they win against Pittsburgh, the game on Thursday night is going to dictate, okay, hey, who's got the lead in the NFC East? Either way, if both of us win, or hey, they lose, we win, same record, let's go. Game on. I mean, the beauty of it, I guess, is like we're looking at it at this point and saying the competition is absolutely clear right now for the NFC East. Like we say before, maybe Dallas could do something. I think New York very quickly, very, early on was that's probably not. But there's a potential. You see what Dallas is, and we've known this for a couple weeks, but definitely see what Dallas is, especially then combine that with the injuries, and it's just amplified even more. But it's Philly or Washington. It's a two-horse race in the NFC East. Brandon's saying Pittsburgh's got the Commanders all day. Maybe so. They've had some luck on their side. I mean, it was not a great game for them against Chicago, yet they won off of a Hail Mary. So sometimes that ends up happening. But Dirty Air saying, man, I'm pumped for Thursday. I am too. Some people were saying it was a trap game last week with the Jaguars, and I think it was. I think if we, come away from that game and say a 5-point win against a team like that, took care of business early and then almost let it slip. But still, kudos to Nakobe Dean and Zack Baun having one of the best linebacker duos in the NFL. It's insane. The defense has been unreal. I don't know. You got a backup quarterback. You got injuries for Dallas. To me, I don't feel like this one's a trap game as much as I would did Jacksonville. Jacksonville was one of those where I felt like the team could overlook it because it's Dallas week the following one. Yes, Thursday Night Football, big game. Everyone understands the rankings or the standings and everything there, but it's still Dallas week. And at the end of the day, I think that this squad's going to be a lot more focused here and locked in. It's probably for the better if you consider how close last week's game was, because it's a reminder all right, hey, if there was a little bit of a let up, if there was a little bit of just lack of fundamentals or just barely losing focus late in that game, a reminder how close and how quickly things can change, even if you have the NFL refs against you, because that fumble was just stupid. I mean, it wasn't a fumble. Regardless, though. Dirty Air, you're going to be there. Let's go. Heck yeah. I was saying earlier, we'll share where we're going to be officially. As Anthony DeBona, seeing that comment there. Good evening. Ant-Man in the house. Anthony will also be there, so we'll share the exact details and everything else. So hopefully get to see as many people as possible and hang out before the game. Raymond, appreciate that. Said your shows are awesome. After next Thursday, Birds will be on top of the division. Defense needs to keep playing with physicality. It's a different defense than last year. I know that's just kind of a given. It's an automatic, but completely different. The way that they the way that they're, and you said it, like their physicality, but just the way that they are communicating on the field is drastically different. And shout out to Fran Duffy. He's got some awesome film breakdowns. Shane Haffel looked at a couple of his, Johnny Page, Philly Film Room. I'm sure there's a couple others I'm forgetting, but some of the main ones that I've been going back and forth. The communication it's night and day different. It's for sure going to be the coaching, the teaching, Fangio making sure the guys are locked in. Milton Williams in his press conference, I think it was late yesterday, was saying like, oh yeah, just a reminder from what we'd already heard, but he will absolutely call you out. Like this late in the season too, we're going to put on some film, watch a play, call you out in front of everybody. Hey, so-and-so, you missed this. Totally on you. And, there's a reason why some of the Miami guys didn't like him, didn't care to play for him. But you're seeing it pay dividends for guys. It's like, look, you got to lock in each and every week. It's going to be something that they're improving on, that they're learning. They're slowly getting better. And also, I don't really like the whole, try to discredit the defense and say, oh, yeah, but they look good because they played against these crap teams. There's a couple, sure, that you throw in there. But you watch Cincinnati, what they did to Baltimore. You watch Cincinnati, what they did to a couple other teams. Cincinnati qualifies as a good win. Sorry, you can't prove otherwise, but there's always some haters and doubters and everything else. But this defense, yes, markedly better. Keep playing physical. Missed tackles have been so much better since the bye week. Being led, obviously, by Zack Baun, who's got a 6% missed tackle rate, by the way. Unbelievable. They should sign him. If Howie didn't make a move, I know we talked about that, but Howie didn't make a move to the trade deadline. The move that he needs to do, if Zack Baun would actually agree to it, and I guess we'll not know for sure, but Zack Baun, you got to get an extension done. Speaking of Anthony, he had a great article, little Q&A mailbag that I was curious to get his thoughts of, but mentioned some possibility or some comparisons. Most likely looking at like a $10 to $12 million per year if you were to try to sign Baun. And I don't know, maybe the Eagles wait till the end of the season. But if Baun keeps playing the way that he is, then man, you're probably, I don't know, you're getting into potentially a bidding war. And then that's where I get a little bit concerned. Like, does Howie learn from it, or does he go back and say, nah, you know what, we found a guy in TJ Edwards. It took a little bit, but we found a guy in Zack Baun. We could probably find somebody else. Maybe that's Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I still think Trot could be good, but if you got something in hand, I really, really hope that they don't botch that. Shane, appreciate the 2-bomb. Let's go. This is Fly Eagles Fly, backwards hurdle style. Miss you all. Thank you for that. Appreciate that, Shane. Yeah, the backwards hurdle is going to live on for forever. I just don't know if he's actually going to do it again, but the fact that he even attempted it, let alone completed it, is just unbelievable. And I said this too, I believe in the last video, that Zack Baun is the best signing, the best acquisition from Howie Roseman. And I truly believe that. I got some comments saying, no, Saquon Barkley. I totally understand the thinking, the logic. I'm not trying to discredit Saquon, but the reason that I said that, and to maybe clarify or go into a little bit more depth, because I had some, not like total disagreement, but, took a little bit of heat from that. And I totally, again, agree or understand if you say Saquon Barkley. But I'm coming from a place of saying Zack Baun, if you take into consideration his salary, his extremely low expectations, what he had done previously, and then what we were asking him to do in this defense, and now what he's doing, that to me is why I say that he is the best signing from Howie Roseman. Sure. Is Saquon surpassing expectations? Absolutely. Is he Superman out there on the field? For sure. Yes. It's SB on his chest. But that's all I was saying, is from a Zack Baun stance and the reason that he's there. But either way, it's like choosing favorites, and you don't necessarily have to, but either way, two of the most crazy, impactful signings, and it's absolutely unreal. Let's see. Got a couple other here. Let's McGee, Jalen Hurts, injury update. Just a super minor ankle injury, no issues. He's full participant, good to go. It was more so, I'm basing that, is Jalen Hurts injury a big deal, off of the Sirianni comments. So was it a big deal to you or anything like that? People did get hit with the Joe Burrow fantasy points, as I had Joe Burrow in a couple leagues. So Feeling pretty good about that. John M., what's up? How's it going? Joining late, family to entertain. Please start everything over. Or maybe just rewind. I got you. No worries. Family first. Family first. Hopefully everybody out there, by the way, you're doing well, healthy, stay safe. We've been going through a little bit of the plague recently. We're on the mend. But I don't know. It's just, I guess that time of year just kind of hit all of a sudden. Seems like a lot of people are dealing with some sort of sickness. But let's see. Shane, another Shane with a 2-bomb. Appreciate that. It says, we'll be at the game Thursday too. Can't wait. Let's go. All right. See, I know there's lots of people that are going to be at the game. So again, I will share as much details and as soon as I can. Because what would be awesome is having like as many people as possible, supporters of the channel, get together either in the parking lot or something like that, tailgate before. And I don't know how realistic, like logistically, but it'd be really cool to get like some pics and everything. So we will share as much details as possible. Daryl with a 5. Let's go. Says Eagles fans need to be better at letting the young guy or Eagles. Yeah, I guess Eagles fans, need to be better at letting the young guys and newer talent develop, especially with a new scheme. Nolan Smith, Bryce Huff, etc. Nakobe Dean, I'm sure we could throw that one in there as well. You're right. It's a lack of patience sometimes. A little bit of impatience. Cool Rains, what's up? Hunter saying Rodgers needs to be signed before the end of the season. I would co-sign with that one, for sure. But, Daryl, it is, like I say, it's a fair point. Sometimes it's the immediacy, it's the spirit of the age, I suppose, like the instantaneous, like I need it now. And it's a problem, sure. There's some instances where, hey, you make it an immediate, like knee-jerk reaction, say, here's what's going on, or here's what I'm upset about, and then it turns out to be true, like that maybe somebody is a bust. But as much as it is true, I'm sure it equals in terms of like, oh, that guy's a bust, and all of a sudden it comes back around and it's like, wow, well, didn't expect that one, but he turned out a lot better. And we're starting to see that from Nolan Smith. Not as much from Bryce Huff. It's interesting. Only played 6 snaps. It was a strange one. But yeah, like you're seeing better things from Nolan Smith. I admitted it immediately because I appreciate too a lot of people that actually did comment, say, man, I was wrong. I thought that Zack Baun wasn't going to be playing this way. I was skeptical of him. Same thing for Nolan Smith, which we're seeing better things. We're not crowning anyone yet, but better things. And I did the same thing with Nakobe Dean. Like it's the way he's been playing recently. I said, absolutely. You know what? I'm very happy to be proven wrong. And because I was saying, I don't think so. Like coverage wise, wouldn't have expected him to make the interception, but he did. So for sure, they're proving everybody wrong. But yes, there's probably a little bit of a, be patient, especially with the youth, as you said, and guys who are learning a new system when the coaching has been much better. So kudos to the coaching. It's been phenomenal. Let's see. I had a couple other. Oh, Derek Jones. We got a Giants question in here. Appreciate that, Derek. Is Daniel Jones the only thing wrong with the Giants? No, not the only thing. There's probably a couple. I don't know how I feel about Joe Shane and his moves, but Daniel Jones is one of the things wrong with the Giants. They could use a better O-line. But yes, their GM let go of Saquon Barkley. Made the choice of of Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley, and yes, other things that play into that. But Upstart saying, no way you don't do shots out of the Kelly Green Saquon helmet during the tailgate. Bro, we'd all be dead. We would all be, if we're doing shots out of this, then we'd all be dead. There's no way. It's not one of the mini helmets, like some people saw it back there on the table and it was like, oh yeah. But then they realized it's a full size, which is why I had it in a couple of videos holding it here to start. Cause I was like, I don't think people quite realize, or at least I got a couple comments that were saying like, man, I love the helmet. But they were asking if it was a A full size, or was it just talking about like one of those mini helmets? Let's see. There was a question here. Joseph. Oh, let's see that one. Wheatosaurus didn't believe in Zack Baun, and I did. I was right again. There you go. Is Wheatosaurus in the chat? He's usually hanging out here. Let him hear it. Let him hear it. The Debbie Downer there. The pessimistic. Appreciate the support still, but yes, there's some times where, he's been right about some of them also, but whenever he's wrong, especially as much as the calling out there, absolutely, I think that's totally well deserved. In a respectful tone, of course, but it's the whole how do you tell someone you care about? I told you so, and that's where we're at. So absolutely, you should totally do that. Josh B, let's see. Do you think Baun will be a 1 year and done kind of player? Just hit something this year and won't be able to repeat it? It's a good question. It's hard to say. I feel like it depends on where he's at. So I would say this: if Zack Baun is re-signed or extended and stays in Philly, then no, I think that he can do this for multiple seasons. Like there might be, a little bit up and down, injuries related or something like that. We hope that nothing like that happens, of course. But, we've seen instances. But I think in terms of production, when he's on the field, I think it's repeatable. It just, it's because of Fangio. It's not only Fangio, but I love the fact that, Fangio's kind of, speaking of telling other people, basically, I told you so. It's like, some other people worry about what the rest of the league thinks, what some of the other coaches are doing. Teams passing up on players that are not going to hit. He's like, I've never been that type of person to do that, to basically care about what others think. You're like, all right, let's go. Let him hear it. Because he saw something in Baun. And remember, he started as a linebackers coach. He's got that in his past, in his track record. And he kind of referenced, if you're looking at positions as a whole on defense, linebackers probably are the best position at him to evaluate. And they're incredibly important. As we talked about, how many live streams, this whole offseason, training camp, everything saying, well, hopefully the linebackers pan out because they're very important to a Fangio defense. But that's why I was very high on Zack Baun, because they signed him super quick. Anthony DeVona pointed out immediately whenever they signed him, they said, look, this was not a delay in, hey, who do we get? They signed him very quickly, made an offer, made it happen as soon as Fangio got on board. And then the first press conference where Fangio was just raving about Baun and was basically not even asked. Like, just go ahead and share, we believe in Zack Baun. We think he could do it, off-ball linebacker. And, it's a little bit of take a step back because, wait, I thought he'd be an edge. But very high from day one, which, again, made me think, okay. And so I made a video, saying the Eagles have a new favorite for off-ball linebacker, and a lot of support, but a lot of polarizing comments, too, of non-believers, and understandably so, because he did not have the resume, but just believing in Vic Fangio's height there. And that's why I say so far so good, has been phenomenal. Second best linebacker in the NFL in coverage grade. I believe he's if I'm not mistaken, he's like third or fourth in overall grade. It depends, I guess, on which, PFF or NFL Pro, like which one you're using. But somewhere in that frame for overall grade in linebackers, which is absolutely ridiculous considering that he's barely played this one. But again, I'll say if he stays in Fangio's system with Fangio, I think he could repeat this. Because it asks a lot of him, but he has the fundamentals, he has the physical ability, and I think that you're just seeing him each and every week get more confident on that side. So if he gets signed to another team, or he does sign to another team, that's where I'd go, maybe not. Could be a one-hit wonder. Because if you've got a group that doesn't use him or maximize the potential for the scheme, then yeah, you might not capitalize, at least on his skill set. Daryl with a 10. Let's go. Another 10. This is Bryce Huff was playing better until his injury, which limited him to 6 snaps. Despite this, some fans criticize him. He was still adjusting to a 4-point stance and the new scheme. I get it. That's fair. He's been He's had moments. There were some that he was getting a little bit better. There were some where he was struggling. The injury certainly played a factor. I think that there's just, and this is maybe putting on my tinfoil hat here, but there's something a little strange going on. with Zack Baun. Like, I don't know. The whole, he's injured, he's got a hand issue, but he did play some snaps. He didn't start the game, but he did still play 6 snaps in that. You get rumors of Tom Pelissero saying the Eagles could be shopping Bryce Huff at the trade deadline. You know, maybe it wasn't full-blown, but perhaps it was Howie calling just to gauge interest, or even one phone call saying, yeah, we might consider. I don't know. But yes, he's still got a ways to go. You still give him some time. But it's a difficult place there, because I'm not saying I'm totally out on Bryce Huff. By all means, I'm not totally out on Bryce Huff. He has made some plays in the past. Yes, I'm not saying he's not injured. I do think he's injured, but it's still something odd with just that whole scenario or situation. But at the same time, like, Zack Baun came from nothing, having not played in this system at all, and you look and see how good he's performing. So I can't necessarily give Bryce Huff a free pass and saying, oh, well, you know what, you're getting paid way more than what Zack Baun is, but yeah, you're okay. Like, well, so he needs to be better. Like, just plain and simple. He needs to be better. He needs to start performing. We can still be a little bit patient. Again, not saying to the level of a bust, and I'm also not saying he needs to be playing at all pro level, but somewhere in the happy medium is where we need Agent Zero to get. At least it's not like no stats, I suppose, like it was in the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks. John M., appreciate that, man, with a 5, says, does the helmet help us jump over folks backwards? I will take 2. I'm just getting to this one, but that's pretty good. It doesn't fit my head, so I can't verify if it does or not. But for whoever wins this thing, which, again, I'll probably spin in the next, 20 minutes or so, whoever wins it, you will get to try it out, I suppose, if it fits whenever you try to put it on. But for me, it does not. So I would love to know if someone wants to try that thing out. Yeah, lots of hype for Zack Baun. Seeing lots of comments here for how he's playing. Let's see. Is it somebody's birthday as well? I probably missed a comment if somebody was saying it was a birthday. Oh, Edit Prods says, I got a new dog for my birthday. There you go. Happy birthday. Jericho, I did not give the helmet away yet. It's right here, as you see. I just pulled away. Going to be doing that here in a bit. Got a couple super chats here. Let's see. We got Shane with another 2. Says, Chase was cooking Ravens DBs, but Q locked him up. He did. He did not. He didn't really. It's Q locking him up, but also just the Fangio defense as a whole. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Q only had 2 throws in his direction that qualified. I could be wrong. Somebody could check me on that. I think it was two attempts, Q's direction. They were 2 catches, but I believe it was like, in the teens yardage-wise, or like low 20s? It was very little in yardage and catches, so he was very good coverage, had a great grade from that game, but besides the opening drive where Cincinnati took whatever they wanted, they were phenomenal, certainly compared to the Ravens. Like, I don't know what kind of defense that was. And it was a fun game to watch, but man, you're sitting there going like, okay, well, whoever has the ball last is basically going to win the game. And I guess Cincinnati goes for 2 there. I don't think it would have mattered. I think that Baltimore had enough time. They were going to march down the field and get a field goal attempt, although Justin Tucker is not the Justin Tucker of old. So maybe he misses it. You get in field goal range, he misses the field goal. You'll never know, though. Still a crazy offensive game. DKT with a 5, predicting we see a Q or Coop interception this game. Bound to happen any game now. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying that I'm not picking that for the bets this week because I've done that many games in a row now and it hasn't happened. But that's probably good news for you and for others. If you do pick one or both to have an interception, then they probably will. This will probably be the week that Cooper Rush throws to Cooper Dejean, and there you go, INT. As somebody said on Twitter, actually, they have their own CD, or they have CD, but we have our own CD, and ours is Cooper Dejean to lock down CeeDee Lamb some. If CeeDee Lamb's in the slot, it'll be interesting to see, like, okay, Coop gets probably some snaps against CeeDee Lamb. He's basically their only offensive weapon, like only consistent offensive weapon. So how does Fangio scheme to shut him down? Cooper DeJean, if he's outside, Q, looks like Slay's going to be back, so most likely, I would imagine, he'll be starting, and Isaiah Rodgers will move back to the backup reserve duty. But we'll see. We'll see how Dallas does that, because they throw the ball a crazy amount. So especially thinking that if the Eagles take care of business, there's nothing weird or strange going on in the flow of the game, it should be where the Eagles are playing from ahead. And then, Cowboys already throw a ton. They'll throw even more. It'll get ridiculous. Frank with a 5. Let's go. Says Cowboys wouldn't be worried about the Commanders. Who we should be worried about. Oh, sorry. Punctuation is important. Cowboys wouldn't be worried. Cowboys wouldn't be worried about. Period. The Commanders are who we should be worried about making bigger moves than us in the NFL, even during the trade deadline. There you go. Oh, and then also 2 more. Frank, thank you. Said I stopped participating in giveaways and never win. I'm sorry, Frank. I'm trying to do as many as possible. Although I did get called out for one, because somebody was saying, hey, quit with the giveaways. You don't have to keep doing the giveaways. And, I'm trying to do it as because y'all know, I'm unbelievably blessed to be able to do this. I can only do this because of you guys. So, but as much, the bigger, I've said this before many times, the bigger the channel gets, the more that I'm going to try to give back and giveaways and everything else. The more opportunities, I'm hopeful. Somebody's like, hey, make my day. I want to be able to meet Jalen Hurts. If I had that clout, absolutely. I would do that immediately as a giveaway. Hey, who wants to meet Jalen Hurts? I would probably want to tag along or something like that. It'd be cool. But yeah, ultimately, that's what this is. If this channel, as it continues to grow, it's what I'm trying to do. I feel for you. Yes, I know that it's hard, but whenever we had some of these giveaways, heck, this one is one of 80,000. I don't know exact percentage on that. I know it's incredibly low, but some of them are fewer. I've also done some that are specifically for the live stream. So tomorrow's video actually will probably have one that maybe references that, but as many as possible. And Mateo, I do appreciate the comment there. Say, blessed to be here. No need for giveaways. Love you, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you. I totally understand that. I'm not saying I agree. And I don't think that's for this comment either. But like I say, I if I've got the opportunity, to me, it's only because of you guys. So just try to give back. As low key, member for 8 months. Just shout out to the best place for constant Eagles content. Thank you. That means a lot. All you guys in the comments, all you guys in the chat are really what make this thing the community that it is, and also what's made the live streams just absolutely unreal. I can't believe I'm trying to remember now. I made a short about it. Whoever called the Zack Baun interception at that moment is the real MVP. We got a super chat right before Zack Baun intercepted the ball, and they said, "Hey, I need Trevor Lawrence to do an interception for something." And I literally read it. Trevor Lawrence dropped back to pass. Boom, interception. It's that type of stuff there that I'm kind of like, you got to be kidding me. It makes people wonder if something is scripted, of course. But Daryl with another 10. Appreciate that, Daryl. Says the Eagles' defense is underrated. The Bengals scored 41 points against the Raiders and 34 against the Ravens, but were held to 17 by the Eagles. Q and Coop have improved the defense 100%. Absolutely have. It's the reason you drafted them, but I don't think that anyone necessarily goes in and say, hey, are the rookies going to be able to play at this level? And again, it's shout out to first and foremost Vic Fangio because of his defense, but the positional coaches, man, they deserve so much praise, and I'm sure they have extra bonuses and incentives in their contracts and everything else. But my gosh, Christian Parker, the job that he is doing with Quinyon Mitchell and with Cooper DeJean, and the fact that I think it gets overlooked sometimes, and it's easy to do, right? Because again, you go defensively, Vic Fangio gets the credit, gets the praise. Sometimes you forget about positional coaches, but just look and see what Christian Parker, the group that he had in Denver, the way that he was able to get that secondary to play, there's a reason why when he came over and took over for DK McDonald, it was like, I mean, we had a stream here about it. As soon as the news broke, it was like, let's go. Great positional coach. He's coached Patrick Surtain coming from the draft, being able to get him into NFL game ready. Obviously, yes, Surtain had tons of skills, but you do the same thing with Q. You see the potential, you see the talent. You do the same thing with Coop as well. It is night and day difference, getting them ready so quickly to make huge plays, and they're continuing to play with more confidence. Like it's only getting better as the season goes on, even though, yes, you're playing against better talent. You got some really tough games coming up. Maybe not necessarily for Dallas. I'm not trying to jinx it or anything, but they're certainly not anywhere close to full strength. So let's put this one away early, and then rest up, be ready for Washington. I missed this one here. John with the 5. Let's go. 5 Philly Special Show memberships. Which means, let's see, is it I say Derek Brown, Josh Brooks, Jonathan, and Excite. And John, I see your comment. Thank you. You say you're the best, Josh, but y'all are the best. That's the real one. John M. the man. There you go. For everybody who just got memberships, you now have access to the ticket giveaway, which will be the end of this month, the last Friday of the month. Be spinning for a ticket giveaway just for members. So likewise, sometimes it's just for the live stream people that are hanging out, sometimes just for the members, and then other times subscribers in general. So, which also will have a special one for the recap video from Dallas. Let me see. I'm going to get to some of these comments too, because I was behind. Jason, thank you. Love the channel. Keep up the good work. Sam, do I think the Eagles will re-sign Sweat? I don't know, man. It's tough to say. He's been decent. I think it depends on... we haven't even gotten here yet, but it's a great segue for Jalix Hunt. Jalix is going to get some good snaps in this game. Sirianni mentioned, kind of alluded to some more snaps for Jalix Hunt. He's going to play more. Vic Fangio believes in him. Obviously, we know, and we talk about, bring up Zack Baun, right? So Fangio says, hey, I know that, and he's played up to the level that he's needed to. Vic Fangio drafted Jalix Hunt, and as much as it might be Houston Christian, what the heck, and, you got some athleticism, but pretty raw in terms of just like fundamentals and play style. Hadn't even played pass rush or pass rushing for more than a year and a half, 2 years. So he's developing, but got a strip sack against the Giants. He's got the athleticism, as we know. So I would look out for Jalix Hunt. Might get some opportunities, or will get opportunities. He'll play more in the reps, is what we've been hearing. But you add that into it with Nolan Smith, who was dealing with a groin injury, was a full participant, so should be fine. But they might, reduce a little bit of snaps. We'll see about Bryce Huff with his hand or his wrist. But considering that hopefully you get up early and you start playing some of the other guys, and Dallas's O-line has not been great. Most likely Tyler Guyton is the left tackle, which means it's probably who Jalix Hunt goes up against. Yeah, let's see. I mean, if Jalix has a sack and he starts to contribute, I'm not saying he's taken over anybody's job this season, but if he starts to show some things late, then I don't know. I think you might see the Eagles go, we're kind of locked in here with Bryce Huff. Hopefully he does get better, right? We'd be patient with it a little bit. But if he starts playing and contributing, then you say, okay, we've got him. Nolan Smith is starting to come along. Jalix Hunt, perhaps. And then we see about, other potentials, whether it's through free agency or the draft. Feels like that might be where it goes. But I don't know. There's still a chance they say, you know what? Hey, Sweat, you played well. You started adjusting to the scheme. You're better in coverage than what I think, certainly myself, but a lot of us thought he would be. If he continues to go that route, then maybe so. But I don't know. The only question for me is like, okay, Sweat perhaps was not necessarily the first choice of Fangio. I'm not saying that off of like news. It's total speculation. I'm not saying that's a report or anything. But he came over and they're trying to put together a roster. We were given reports. This is official. We were given reports that Sweat was going to be moving on. He made a post of basically saying bye Philly or something to that effect. Like it's been real, some sort of post. And then he was not. Maybe a little bit of about face, but I don't know. Be interesting. Let's see here. Yes, Hurts is fine. He's playing. Mateo, this season it's starting to feel special. I don't want to crown anything too quickly. I know no one does, but yes. Low-key saying I had to drop Jake Elliott in fantasy points for Boswell. Yeah, Nick's hurting everybody. If you had Jake Elliott thinking that was going to be a good one, he's killing everybody's kicker points. Tyler, I appreciate that. Says Josh, I'm going to hold my L on this one. Before the season started, I said I thought the Eagles should have drafted AD. AD, yeah, Mitchell over Coop. Happy I was wrong. Q and Cooper special. There we go. I appreciate you saying that. But again, everyone's had takes like that. And if someone says like, no, I've never met, then okay, well, we all know that. But I appreciate that, Tyler. Let's see. Did I miss? I did. John Moe. Another John another John M, but a different John Moe with a 5. Let's go. 5 more Philly Special Show memberships. With let's see, Young Bo, Sam the Program. There you go. Love Jordan, John Monroe. We had a lot of John M's in here. Shout out to the John M's. And Patrick Conrad. You guys just got some more memberships. So congrats. Cranky said members except Frank. Tyler also with the Sidney Brown dime packages. See, look, that's the other thing too. There's so much depth on this team that we're not. Sidney Brown made a phenomenal play on special teams. Like just the speed and athleticism that he has and the physicality. We talk about it in all phases, but even in the special teams, it's incredible. If you have someone that is able to, if we were to have injuries, then all of a sudden we have a rotation. We've got guys that can step up. Definitely different than last year. Last year was, hey, we're bottom of the barrel, or even if we are healthy, you're questioning, is someone actually there? Very much different. Lots of hype, though, for Jalix Hunt, too. I'm seeing those. Yes, all you got to do to enter the giveaway, and I'm going to do that here in just a second, because I was mentioning, but yes, just be subscribed. I've got it set up. I'll refresh it to make sure, but should have the subscribers in here, and it'll randomly choose somebody, so I'm going to do that in just a second. Let's see here. Yes, Fanny, I'm seeing that comment too. Very good point. Happy Veterans Day. Happy early Veterans Day to all the veterans in the chat group. I believe that is on Monday. You guys are the absolute heroes. And probably don't hear it enough, but thank you, vets. Mega John saying we need to trade up for Abdul Carter. We'll have some. I mean, Howie always makes draft moves, so we'll for sure probably get that, but Christine Jordan Mailata is not back. He's still on the IR. Good question, though. Yes, if we could give the helmet away to everyone, we certainly would. Danny asking about, well, it's funny because, some people, I guess they see the videos of the regularity and they know the reason why, but there's some people that are going to bring it up. The stash is staying until the Eagles lose. I'm doing my part. That's the reason. Cheesesteak. Folks say you're a goose with that stash. They get some more rooster. Okay. All right. I appreciate you, sir. Thanks for that. Jackson, there you go. Going to the Dallas game too. Yep. Hope to see Belt to Ass. Bought my dad's ticket. Surprisingly cheap. Only cost $135 a ticket. It's a lot cheaper because of one team's record, the injury and everything that side. So not expected to be as close, but there you go. Young Bo, I appreciate the comment. Seeing that. Tyler, I'm not going to Tyler with 2 L's. I believe I say Tyler. Are you going to AT&T Sunday? I am not. I was very sure that was going to happen, but like I say, scheduling wise, partly with Thomas, and then also the injuries and everything else, and then the fact that we confirmed we're going to be going to the Commanders game on Thursday. It was like, man, it's going to be kind of a lot to do both of those. So, executive decision, only one. Thursday Night Football in Philly, and also Justin Pugh is going to be there. So the series of all the Thursday Night Football games, he'll be hanging out. I believe that Thomas and I are going to be a little bit, maybe a little cameo in the video. We'll see. Joel says just give away 81,000 jerseys. Sure, yep. Why not? Let's make that happen. Let me just ask for that right now from the sponsor. Let me say, hey, by the way, we're going to give away all these jerseys. They for sure won't be legit jerseys if we do that. Oh, let's go. There you go. Tyler Wallace helping me with the pronunciation of that, so appreciate that. Frank, I suppose, yeah, it looked like trying my best not to look like I belong in high school. Sure, I'll take that. At 32 years old, I will absolutely take that. Yes. Christine, Christmas game with Dallas is more fun anyway. Speaking of, that is a potential. I've said that a couple times, but the Commanders game is where Thomas and I are going to go for sure, and then a potential to go to that game in Philly, which will be week 17. We shall see. All right, let me get the giveaway here. Get this thing set up. I believe it's time. And digital jersey. We could do that. Digital jerseys. That might be a possibility. All right, I think we got this thing here. All right. Should be good. Should have all of the updated ones. Good luck to everybody. For, of course, the Saquon signed helmet. As always. Hopefully it is someone here in this chat. I do wish extra luck to everyone in this chat. It would be phenomenal if it's someone live. If it's not, then I'll post it in the video. Make sure that they have a chance to claim it, and then if they don't, then I'll give it away to somebody who's actually on the stream. So you guys get first dibs at all those. And then we'll get back to the chat. But saying it for a while. Here's the giveaway. Let me make sure that I can share my screen. There we go. Looks right. Should be good. Yep. Okay. Good luck, everybody. And who is it gonna be? There you go. I don't know how to GSMG TAC, GSMGT AC. I don't know how to pronounce that, but congratulations. You have won the Saquon Barkley Kelly Green helmet. Come on down. Hopefully you're in the chat. It would be awesome if you are. Please respond. If you're not, you still have a chance. Just, hit me up like usual. The Philly Special Show. at gmail.com. I'm waiting to see. It's probably far-fetched to think that this individual would be on the stream here with that many and 350-ish people. It would be cool, though, if this person was. So, Tyler says you have 30 seconds. Yes, well, unfortunately for this one, I'm going to give them a little bit more time because I said to people, hey, we just 80,000. Danny's saying rigged. I've seen 4 names. Oh, love it. I love all the rigged, fake bots. I identify as GSMGT. There's Cranky Cletus on time. Everyone always, it told me he doesn't want it. Spit again. Y'all are the best. JD unsubscribing. Okay, there you go. Well, again, I'll reach out to him. We've had it sometimes. Hope is saying Josh respin. Look, I've done it for others. I can't do it for this one because I literally said, "Hey, if you want a chance to win the helmet, you just gotta. It's getting the channel to 80,000." I do a lot of those giveaways. Of yes, you need to hang out on the stream. So, yeah, Joseph, you're right. Actually, it's my giveaways. It's my giveaway bot. So it's going to go right back to me. Whenever you guys see it back there, you're like, wait a second, didn't Josh give that away? No, it will most likely, if the person does not claim it, then, it'll come back to you. If they do, either way, I'm gonna put it on a video so people will see. Like, shipping it out, I'll share it on the socials, everything there. People that question if the helmets do not go to people, the Isaiah Rodgers one is no longer in my hands. We gave that one as Cali Man. Wait, did I win? I'm aware you saying add a visor with the helmet. Interesting. Okay. It would actually look pretty legit if you put a visor with that one, for sure. I forgot. Upstart Winger said I should have. I was supposed to spin backwards because of the hurdle. That's my fault. Now JD's gonna stay because I read your comment. Okay, all right. Sam, I don't know. It's just I used to be like on the camera, so I don't know. I was just kind of like, all right, and just did like that. I don't know. I took a picture. I don't know. I didn't know what else to do. Oh, Joseph, I misinterpreted what you were saying then. Okay. Chris, the Eagles head in the background, the neon light back there. There's a link in the description. It's crazy expensive. It's like 3 times, or maybe even 4 times now, as expensive as it was whenever I got it. But anyway, moving on. I'm not respinning. Sorry. Blackheart is saying they got 2 hours to respond. Somebody hit their channel. Tyler, yes. Okay, here's what we're doing. And this is what I normally do, but to confirm, they have 1 week. 1 week, the Friday night hangout, which will be post Thursday night football game, but the Friday night hangout next week, if they have not responded, then I will give it away to somebody on that stream. He's got a little bit more than 30 seconds. So appreciate you guys. Again, y'all are the best. This one was specific for just the subs, but have all the other giveaways for members and subscribers and everything else. So, let's see. Is it BG Dogs? What's your prediction for Saquon's stat line? Good question, actually. Well, it's certainly over the 87.5 rushing yards because that's one of the picks or plays that I took. So I think it's over that. I would personally go with, I think he'd get over 100, so maybe a Saquon, like 115 and a touchdown. I don't think anything crazy because I'm feeling like defense hopefully gets some stops, maybe a couple takeaways, offense scores a couple times, and then maybe we start seeing, hey, look, it's a short week. If we can get up, that's the best case scenario because you start getting starters out. You protect them, keep them healthy and fresh for the game on Thursday, And then all of a sudden we see some Kenny Gainwell, maybe some Will Shipley, which is why I took the Will Shipley anytime touchdown. Kind of crazy, but Alex, yes, prefer the stream giveaways. There you go. That's understandable. No wonder. I've always done the 1 week. So sorry, but the game tickets, I've literally had a person that didn't claim the game tickets, and we gave them away to Andrew R., who I don't know if Andrew R. is on this stream, but usually Andrew's on here. Okay. Big dogs. Cool. I didn't know if it was like Brandon Graham, BG dogs, or if it was like just, yeah. So, but I got it. Big dogs. Short for it. Shane's going over 200 yards for Saquon. Jason with 3 takeaways this week. All right. Dejean confirmed with your sources that the GSMG is a Cowboys fan. Joaquin's asking how many takeaways do I predict? I'm going to say, I'll go with, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I jinx it whenever I predict these things. I'm going to say 2. John Moe saying 65, 3 catches and a touchdown, by the way, for the other prediction. Yeah, I don't know. Tyler saying we need 180 for the culture. Some of these comments are great. I'll start. Yeah, I don't remember saying that, but I guess I did. The next helmet goes to a member with a mustache. So I'm going to have to get like verified pics of everybody. Like, okay, let's make sure. Morgan, I am. I'm going to the Thursday night football game. I will be there. Thomas will be there. Anthony will be there. Lots of individuals. And we'll be tailgating beforehand, so lots of info on that side. Keisha, what's up? I'm awake. Are you? I believe that as well. They'll pull. I don't think that Barkley will get 200. I've said in the past, though, I was like, oh, there's no way he's going to get that number. And then he, went off and was crazy. So it's not impossible, but. Let's see. Has it Dottier? I think Saquon will get or gets a bit of rest and a managed workload. I could definitely see that. Serious question as we wrap up here. Any last minute Q&A and everything else, but serious question: is there anything that gives you, I don't know, just a little pause? I wouldn't necessarily say even concern, but it is the NFL, so I'm not going to say like anything's guaranteed, but anything at all. And I'm genuinely like asking for some validity here. And you could say no, like that's also fine. But is there anything that gives you a little bit of pause going into this game? Like something, what does it take for the Eagles to lose this game? Or is there any facet of the game, any 3 phases that you're looking at and going like, yeah, there's just a tiny bit of skepticism, or, hey, maybe even the curse, if you believe in that, of like, man, we haven't won there since 2017. Is there any reason? Because I'm just curious. I know there's lots of optimism. I'm optimistic as well, but is there anything that we're okay? See, Reese Fly says overconfidence. All right. I should have known how quickly we start getting Nick comments. Jack, I appreciate it, man. I saw the comment earlier too. Tyler, peace out, man. Go Birds. Have a good weekend. Keeping the stash for the win. Stash stays until we lose. Let's see. Joseph, yes. Dallas run defense. Oh, it's atrocious. It's terrible, but Morgan, we're gonna there's we're confirming between like one of two places. Again, I'll share, and I'm sure that Thomas and I'll have it in both of our videos too before we go. But a couple different places for like tailgate and everything else. So we'll share, and the socials will probably on the day of and even before. But we'll definitely let everybody know. There we go. Blackhearted, big game for Gainwell and Dotson. They'll watch Saquon. They'll watch. Oh, so not a big game, or are they going to get in after the game? All world. Excuse me. Got to get Johnny Wilson. Get him the ball. In terms of everything else, though, JD, thank you. Appreciate that. Maybe I've won you over, so appreciate you staying. A lot of, let's see, overconfidence and a lot of Nick Sirianni. That's what it appears as. Dennis saying Jordan Davis needs to step up, for sure. Cranky said I have PTSD from the web kid from the Vikings. It's Cooper Rush. There's a comment there. CeeDee Lamb. Mostly Sirianni, it looks like. Shane, appreciate it, man. See your comment too. Yeah, tons on. So basically, okay, and that's fair. I understand. Basically, the vast majority is Sirianni. If he out schemes, or maybe the reverse of that, but overthinks things, making the wrong decisions, possibly too aggressively. Okay. Besides that, though, I was just curious. Very optimistic, though. Big dog, slightly worried about Micah Parsons. He should be back, questionable, but I mean, most of the reports around closely in Dallas are thinking that he's going to play. So he'll get a matchup most likely with Fred Johnson. There's no way they're going to have him go up against Lane because Pave Lane is his daddy. So, yeah, maybe so. He could get a sack or two, but if he's turning into a game wrecker and you have to start adjusting things to him, I guess it delays things or slows things down. Joaquin, what jersey am I wearing on Thursday? That is a very good question. I'm considering a couple different options. I might wear a Nolan Smith jersey. I might wear an A.J. Brown jersey. Potentially wear the Isaiah Rodgers one. Got to support Zay. And it's Kelly Green. Or I've got the Jalen one, too. There's a couple different options. I'm probably leaning toward the Nolan Smith, but we'll see. There's a little time from there. Anyway, score predictions. Where are we at? Where are we at with the score predictions as we wrap up? JD's saying maybe I'll try for Thomas for my first Eagles memorabilia. There will be more in the video tomorrow too, so keep an eye out for the video. Probably like in the afternoon is whenever I would imagine, but trying to do as many as possible. I realize that lots of individuals, low odds, but there's better odds the longer this thing goes. Got 100-0. Okay, well, it's very confident. Go Birds, but it's very confident. 33-15, Koopa. 28-7, 34-28. Yikes. Closer than need. That is much closer than it needs to be. 37-12, 31-17, 47-10, 28-14. I like a lot of these predictions. Very, very dominant win for the most part. There's a couple close. 27-17, 28-20 from Allie. Blackhearted 33-28. Man, I hope it's not that close, but yeah. Personally, I'm gonna say I'm probably in the like 28-13 range, somewhere like that, about in that number. Maybe it ends up being a little bit closer, but I just, based on who we have, based on who they don't have, and then comparison of how the teams have been playing, that's about where I'm at. Lots of 31-17s, 42-6 from Skywalker. Doesn't even give up a touchdown. John M., I appreciate you. Upstart 35-0. Could you imagine blanking the Cowboys, even with, the injuries that they have? Okay. Christine, I doubt the Cowgirls get more than one touchdown. That'd be good. Defense has been playing insane. Out of their mind. As I said earlier, Jalen Hunt, opportunity. Hopefully he gets a few more snaps too because of the chance to be leading. But big dogs, the Cowboys will get 40-pieced at home for a third time. That would be legit. Grayson, yes, the GSMG TAC or TAK. They won. So 28-3 would also, yes. As long as it stays 28-3. We don't want a 28-3 earlier in the game. That's like a jinx against the team. All right. Appreciate you guys, though. This was a blast. I'm going to jump off. But as always, stay tuned. More videos coming up tomorrow, and we are streaming on Sunday. So feel free to swing by, hang out, maybe having a giveaway for that one as well. Shane at the buzzer with the 2-bomb says 40-9, and then Q finally gets a pick. Go Birds. I hope he does. Can we please finally get one? Hold on to it. Get a pick against Cooper Rush. That would be great. Maybe make it a pick 6 too. But 40-9, absolutely would take that. So again, congratulations to GSMG. I will post on the video. If you see this, email me, thephillyspecialshow@gmail.com. If not, you'll have an opportunity for 1 week. And if you don't claim it by then someone on the live stream is going to get it next week. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate you guys as always. Y'all have an awesome one. You know what it is. Go Birds.